Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Listen, I'm a Barber podcast. Like I said, we are back at the Tattoo Convention in Cherry Hill. I'm with my boy Matt right now, somebody that's been with us from the beginning. Matt, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. You know how much I respect you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, man. Dude, I was very excited to have you on. And we had talked about it, 6 months prior? I'm like, no, we need to do one. I said, I'm bringing the podcast to the convention. I said, I got to have you on. We have to figure this out. And I'm so happy we got a chance to make it happen.
You were incredibly insistent, but you didn't need to be because, it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, let's get into it real quick. Not everybody knows what I know about you. You've been a tattooer. I mean, talk a little bit, explain, like, where'd you come from? Like, how did you get as in depth as I understand about, this industry for you?
Well, you know what? I had a career first in the movie industry in Los Angeles. I was art department as set director, and God bless my mother. She was so sick early on in life, but still made sure I got to the Cleveland Museum of Art for my first art lesson at 8 years old. And if you saw the original watercolor, you'd be like, whoa, but it's cute. So anyways, then I went to grammar school in Ohio and Cleveland, which is where I'm based now, and moved to Los Angeles, did that, and then kind of fell into tattooing. I had a buddy, Joe Morrow, who became my mentor at Pussycat Tattoo in Las Vegas, and Dirk Verman, the owner of the shop. It taught me so much, and I'm so indebted to both of them. So I tattooed there and then tattooed all over the West Coast, started doing conventions, finally opened my own shop in Cleveland, Southside Tattoo Company. And, it's been a wild ride over, 18 and a half years in the industry. That's counting my apprenticeship.
Dude, you have an amazing resume. You have an amazing resume. To see your background, where you came from, and how you fell into it, which that part I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know you fell into this. I knew as a kid, I wanted to cut hair.
Yeah.
But to see you fall into something, you turned into something amazing. That's incredible.
I appreciate that. And I'd always been, 6 years old with my mother and father supporting me and giving me the, make sure I had the lessons. But then one day I was sitting with Joe and he needed something and he's, tattooing and the guy in the chair says, why don't you have your apprentice do it? And I said, well, I'm not his apprentice. So then Joe, said, well, come on, help me out. I'll teach you what to do. So we're sanitary. And then he started talking to me. He's like, do you, want to do this? Have you ever thought about it? And I said, yeah, I've thought about it. I'd been getting tattooed for a while at that point. And
I think at that point you were going to take that commitment though. Like that was the choice you made. It was like, hold on, this was the one choice that affected the rest of my life.
It's absolutely true. And I was given a gift of an amazing artistic career by Joe and Dirk. And, I'm so, it's so weird to think about where it came from. And it was definitely committing to that was life-changing.
Greatest choice of your life, right?
Except asking my wife to marry me. Yes.
That's awesome. That's fucking cool.
So, and she'll probably be watching, so it's probably a good thing I said that.
I know the feeling. But
there you go.
Gotta love the wife.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what though. Let's get to your style too, because you've taken on plenty of awards at our show. You've definitely put your stamp here. What's what you really like to tattoo? Because I know you're real big with traditional.
That's correct.
Super sharp. Is that something you're just extremely technically good at, or do you actually like to do that? And that's just how, like, the passion takes you to that.
The passion does. Yes.
Is there something you're technically good at? Like to say, like, okay, I'm looking for something. Like, what are you technically good at? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, nowadays that all that geometric stuff is super technical, but that's not my thing. And you have to be honest about admitting what you can and can't do so that you don't give someone something that is out of your league and then you just ruins your reputation by a terrible tattoo. But Japanese traditional is the other love. And I would say, as far as technical execution, I thrive on that, and I also thrive on the fact that everything is a challenge. And, that's what I'm here to do. I always say that two things about tattooing. One is it's a tough way to make an easy living. And two, that my job is not tattooing. My job is making people happy for a living.
Yes.
That's what I do.
As a barber, I could completely get that. There's a service that we provide, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, it's anybody can do the service. It's just how, and as me and Cypress were talking about it,
Yeah.
it's how can you actually facilitate that, in the most positive way?
Absolutely.
For me, it's always been mentorship. And, sometimes it's having fun with the guys, bringing them out of a funk. They're in the house, like they're stir crazy. It's just, they come out to get a haircut. We just change how they're feeling. And that just shifts their whole momentum. And I'm like, that's cool. Like we get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
Confidence booster.
There's nothing better than getting a fresh haircut, by the way. I mean, yeah. Well, I can always tattoo that for you.
I've debated tattooing my head, and I think I actually have like a financial standard that I want to have to physically tattoo my head. I said if I can have an easy, liquidable 100,000, but have everything paid off,
sure,
then I would say, yeah, I would do it. Yeah, I don't know what I would get, but something to where I know my house is paid off, I have no debt, and I have everything covered, like from a financial realm. Because I think when you truly go that committed to it, like you're in it. And I think there's still some things that like I have in my life that I'm not committing to for the rest of my life.
Sure.
Like I love everything I have tattoo wise, but some of them have pushed my limits socially with people. And I'm like, I don't regret them, because like in the industry that we're in, that's the happiness. Like I'm not trying to have somebody take away what I really enjoy.
And our industries are so similar.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are.
They're outspoken.
Yeah. And I have hairstylists and barbers that I tattoo. And again, it's making people happy and it's making them feel good, and it's also sort of an independent, you're your own boss kind of thing, even if you have a boss.
Yeah.
Especially a good one.
You're building yourself.
Yeah. Especially a good one who lets you do your thing because they trust you.
Yeah.
And
that's tough to get there. The trust level. That's real deep.
Yeah.
I know it's way harder for you as a tattooer, because I think when I was growing up cutting hair, the people that did support me, they knew that the haircut, if I messed it up, would grow back in, a week, 2 weeks. Like you mess up that tattoo, it's like there's either a laser surgery there or there's a cover up, and neither one of them is pleasant.
I love doing cover ups. And then Dirk Verman, I mean, he had his show Bad Ink. Yeah, in Vegas. And he's the one who taught me how to do cover-ups, and I'm fearless with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fearless. Yep. So, I mean, look, I have so many people that have supported me, from my wife to my parents to my mentors and friends that let me give them crappy tattoos in the very beginning just to, tattoo real skin. And I couldn't be more grateful for where I'm at right now.
I'm also in the position I'm at in my career because I've had the same opportunity. And I tell people, no matter what type of support you have, like even with support, it's still ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's something where when the barrier is truly broken of that understanding, you don't fail. Because at that point, it's like, listen, this is actually what could keep me living. Like, I know we've talked a lot about, you have some medical things that, are very difficult for you to do. And I've had my fair share of all the injuries I've had with my disorder. But, I don't care. I love what I fucking do. Like, you couldn't tell me otherwise. And to be able to be in such a comparable industry, I guess not from the actual service, but the actual like dynamic of what we do.
In just 5 minutes, head over to the Riverside. We have the one man.
While this is going on, I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Wait, hold on.
No, I'm just
right over to the Riverside, right through the exit. By the bar, down the hallway, and do all of it.
So I think the reality, though, and I wish I've been doing these with people since I got to the convention, just talking about being uplifting in these crazy circumstances, and it's like, you have to love the life, and most people don't love the life. I think when they're trying to just, as you said, make a tough, easy living, or how you said that, I feel like they're in that mode. It's like, yeah, you can hustle a couple, but that hustle comes with like mental struggle. Like I never mentally struggled in this business. I struggled with just being better. Like I never wanted to be like, nah, I don't want this anymore. I've struggled with it, but I'm like, I'm never leaving it. Like it hurts, but like, nah, it hurts to keep going. Like, you know,
Well, and that's the point. And I would give advice to anybody who wants to do this or what you do or anything. You want and love your career. And, there's two things. One is never stop learning, or else then you're just,
you're not living.
You are just a regular barber. You don't have the talent you have. I'm just someone who traces things and uses them like a coloring book. But, so I would encourage people to do it the right way and, really, really commit, really have the passion. If you don't have the passion, and you know this just as well as I do, then
doesn't last.
Yeah. And, maybe you should reevaluate what's going on. So
I agree. I think that's a hard truth for people to really like stomach, but
yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you have to have that epitome to you're like the epiphany to yourself, like that gut wrenching feeling doesn't.
All right, we're going to be making our way to the riverside for one man sideshow, starting in just a few minutes.
But I'm glad I'm here with you.
No, we still got some time on this one.
Oh, good.
Because we'll chop all this up. But so all right, I'll roll this way. So in comparison to a lot of the things that we've both done, something I've never really gotten into was a dual branding ship. I've always just been, Jay Hollywood to Barber. I guess like now is where I'm taking, listen, I'm a barber to like, a different type of audience. You know what I mean?
Now you're branching.
Yeah, but I see you working with brands all the time. And I know the one brand that I follow, and I appreciate the merch from Sullen. How's that? Like, getting to a point in your career where you're actually able to be strong enough to collaborate with other companies. A lot of people get scared to do that, but I truly think that when you can actually be successful with other teams, that's bigger success. The selfishness usually takes over at some point, but to be able to collaborate is really big.
Yeah, and with Sullen, I guess I always say I'm part of the Sullen family. I am not an official Sullen artist, which is a different thing, is where the shirts come from. However, knowing and even tattooing Jeremy, who is the owner, and knowing a lot of official Sullen artists and develop friendships over the years, it feels really special to work with them as a representative. And
giant community.
Yeah, and I got into it through my buddy Bobby Wright, who encouraged me to become an authorized retailer, and I'm the only authorized retailer in Ohio, which is
so you got the market.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Cleveland, so I mean, sometimes it's more when they come to the shop and they see the store, we encourage them, and of course, representing here, I thank Nick for that, and I am so proud of him and what he's been able to accomplish here. And then being able to get on pro teams is something that I don't know. I never really thought about, never really imagined. You walk the fine line between confident and cocky, but ultimately, guys like you and me are very down to earth and very humble. So, stuff like Wipeouts, Mike DeVries' company, and Tatty Stick, Aftercare, and then FYT, needles and supplies. I'm so grateful, and a lot of people sponsorship chase, but I use the stuff on me, and I have a lot of people that I know use it on them. Or
I do see a false representation sometimes,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's cool. A lot of the artists here that we love are very genuine, and they're genuine in their approach. Like, I think that's why the show goes so well. Like, everybody's kind of on the same page, and I think as many people have said, this past weekend, everybody's on that page of wanting better. And I think these are the people actually trying to innovate the industry, in every way possible. Between the branding of the clothes, the aftercare, the tattoos themselves, the brands of the people.
Sure.
I mean, the collectiveness of this is crazy. And this is why I guess I was so adamant to talk to you about it. You've been here since the beginning, and just the development is crazy, for you, your shop, Solon, everybody here at the show. I mean, damn, man, it's been such a journey these last 3 years.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. I mean, this one is
Where did this all fucking here?
Yeah, this is on my short list of must do. And there's only a couple other ones that are ones that come hell or high water, I'm not missing.
Yeah.
So,
These are life experiences, man. Like, I truly realized that after year one, I was like, this changed my whole perspective on life. I've never done this. I'm very well with people. My communication skills are top notch. But when I stepped into this world for the first time 3 years ago, and not the tattoo world, I've been getting tattooed since I was like 17.
Sure.
But this is
So what, like 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Because you're like 23 now?
Oh man, I don't know. This is just amazing, man.
It is.
I always appreciate you being here for it.
Well, yeah.
Like, looking out to the crowd right now and like just seeing everything that we've been doing. It's awesome.
And yeah, it's something, like I said, I wouldn't miss, and became, fast friends with you and Nick, and then, meeting other amazing artists here. And you can always learn something. And everybody in this type of convention, where it feels more family oriented, everybody like has this attitude of support here.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other ones out there where I feel the same way, but here it's like people care about you as a sort of competing artist against them, but nobody feels that way. Nobody's greedy. Everybody wants to help everybody. And I dig it. Like, I mean, it's something special.
It's building the community little by little. And I think as people, we need to take control of that. And if we're a part of that, then, there can be some judgment. I have a lot of people that have judgment and don't have a part in building the community. And that's why I always appreciate you and everybody here, because everybody is positively doing that. You said there's, it was spot on. Everybody here is, they're competitive, which, people really put their best work out here. But I saw the guy who won last year talking to the guy who won year one, and they were sitting there collabing. And I'm like, yo, that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Like, these are the two champions of the show. They won flat out, and they're sitting here collaborating, learning more about each other instead of like, fuck this guy. And this, it's like, they're sitting down, they're talking now. Now they're growing. It's fucking amazing.
Right. And those same guys, if I came up to them and said like, hey, how did you work this out? Like, this is a technique I haven't seen. Those same guys that won big time will still sit with me, even if I don't know them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that atmosphere here that, I mean, is one of the reasons why this is one of, a handful of great conventions where, and like I said, I'm proud to be here, proud to become, close friends with you and Nick and everybody, and meeting new artists here that I've become close friends with. I mean, it's just amazing. Like, everybody's talking about me coming to their shop, or let's do this convention together. We'll meet over there and we'll grab booths next to each other. And it's just, and these are people I respect, and to get the respect back, that's the important thing. It's all about peer respect for me.
Same.
Personally.
Same. We're just people. Every person is a person. And I think at this stage of my life, I've digested that to where, as long as you're not a piece of shit, all right, what's up?
And if I may, on my chest, I'm an old hot rod kid, so I have Mr. Horsepower from Thrush Mufflers. So, look it up, kids. But it's a woodpecker basically, and I have good wishes, good riddance, because underneath an angel one and a devil one, because if you're a good person, good wishes to you. Let's talk.
Yeah.
If you're not, well, good riddance. You know what I mean? I don't.
Right.
I don't need you in my life. I don't because you're not going to drag me down. I'm a happy person. So, and very, very blessed to be where I'm at.
Hell yeah.
And here with you, sir.
Hell yeah. I think after this, we're taking a shot at J-Mo.
I'd like to see a side show. Head on over to the Riverside. One man side show starting in a couple minutes. Right next to the bar, exit sign, hit the hallway. You follow yourself, headed right to Riverside.
All right. Well, yo, Matt, thank you so much for coming on. Got to get back to my duties at the show. I'm hearing it over on the intercom. Guys, I'm so happy you get a chance to meet my boy, Matt. Like I said, I needed him on, and he's one of the people of many that I got to actually experience like a new perspective of life from. And it's crazy because in these environments, like that's how you can do it, you know, being open, being fearless to talk to people and not being scared to really kind of expand yourself as a person. You know, we're all scared individuals, you know, when we're doing something new, but you know, when you beat that and realize it's nothing, you know, it is what it is, you know, you can move forward. But guys, thanks for tuning in.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Congrats on what you've accomplished.
All right, I knew it was going down.
Let me
Let
me do that one again.
Dude, I dropped that fucking thing like 30 times.
Wait, we're not cutting that out?
No, we're not cutting that out.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.